It's all very socially acceptable. People want to agree with these things because they want to seem like they're nice people. But at the same time, there's no compelling reason why people should do what these animal groups say, because essentially they're just giving one reason after another. They're not giving the reason not to use animals, which is because you don't need to, it's unnecessary, and they're suffering, and they're sentient, they shouldn't have to suffer. They're giving the reason, it's really cruel, don't do that. It's really horrible. And so socially you step back and you go, okay, yeah, I don't want to be cruel, I don't want people to think I'm cruel, so you don't do that anymore. And then, but you're not really receiving a reason not to do it, in essence. You're just receiving a social incentive not to do it. And that's what the big groups do. They kind of polarize thought on a social level, but I think deep down everyone's kind of thinking, that doesn't really mean anything. I don't actually have to go out my way. If there's a jacket I really like that has a fur trim on it, am I honestly not going to buy it? I'm going to buy it. It's a nice jacket. You know, that's what they're thinking deep down. There's no understanding being built there. And I think that's partly because people really are quite weary of these groups. They're quite secretive and deceptive with what they actually want. I mean, they use the term vegetarian, but there's no dairy or eggs in a lot of their recipes. That's a vegan diet, really, that they're advocating. These single issue campaigns are really what they want to do, is they want you to secretly get you to go vegetarian, is what everyone thinks. Well, I think the evidence is there on how society reacts. I mean, if you talk to anyone in society, they'll tell you, I mean, we used to do advocacy stalls of all kinds of animal rights issues, and people will always tell you strongly against factory farming. Whoever you speak to, no one ever goes, you know, factory farming's fine. You know, everyone's against it. They're socially against it. It's not socially acceptable to be pro-factory farming because it's just horrendous. It's on TV, it's in the media, everyone dislikes it. It's not right to be seen to be pro-factory farming. And yet, factory farm sales haven't dropped significantly. So there's something going on there, you know, like people say they're against it, almost everyone says they're against it. You must be up there, 95, 99% of people say they're against factory farming, and yet the sales only seem to drop when welfare raised meat rises. And even then, the welfare raised meat seems to rise faster than the factory farm drops. And even then, the amount that the welfare meat is rising, it's not a great deal, considering 95% of people are against factory farming. Sales haven't dropped by 95%, so there's something going on there. It's obviously people are feeling socially obliged to be against factory farming, but they're not actually carrying through on that. That's because they don't feel compelled to. They'll say they're against factory farming, but they'll go into a shop and they'll buy factory farm meat. And why not? Because it's just cruelty. Cruelty is entirely subjective. The animal groups will tell you it's too cruel, don't do this, it's too cruel, but it's not cruel to me. I don't see it as cruel, I see it as necessary. I like the taste of meat. And that's how people react. I mean, why? You're not going to give them the reason to be vegan, you're just going to give them subjective ideas like cruelty, compassion, taste. Taste is also subjective, so you bring that in yourself. Desire is also subjective, so you bring that in, and then all these things muddle up and you decide to continue buying it.